Man, my allergies. I hate sniffling on here, so I apologize, guys. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. OG here, and we have a special video slash stream for you today because we're going to dive in not only to this Evolutions to Glory that I came back to after months of being away from, way behind the power curve, and pretty quickly I was able to do some evolutions, a few SBCs to get the team at least to the point where we could compete, right? At first, it was definitely a struggle. You could tell on the pitch where maybe we were the better squad. I had the better skill over my opponent, but the players were struggling. I'm still by no means, I don't have the picture of the team you would want, but definitely much better players. This Hamsik card has been insane in this 4-1-4-1. You could use him in a 4-5-1. That's kind of the meta, I would say, out of those two setups. You can use 4-2-3-1s, even a 4-4-2, but the runs out of the midfield have been key for me. This Claudia card, still have not found a card that can move in the attack like her. I don't know why FC just doesn't break down. Maybe they've been doing this behind the scenes, but they should break down whatever they did to create this card, her attacking movement, everything else, and just mimic that with every other card. If they did that, they'd actually have a much better, more diverse attacking AI. I actually messed up on this card when I came back into the Evos to Glory. She could be a bit better, right? Instead of 86 pace, she could have about 89, about 87, 88 shooting, 85 passing, 89 dribbling. So not far behind what she would be with the Evo. Obviously, there's cards I could go buy in the market as well, but it's against the rules. We make our own rules for this Evolutions of Glory because it adds some fun to an otherwise pretty stale, repetitive game, right? I've been playing this game competitively since 22 and chasing the same players over and over, finding the same, broken players every year, and then using them while using the same, meta formation. It all gets repetitive and boring, right? Even being in this 4-1-4-1, but I will tell you, just like any other year, you can feel the difference on the pitch when you're not using whatever broken meta setup that someone has found, right? Whether it was the 4-3-2-1 in the past, the 4-2-1-3, when after Anders discovered that and made it pretty popular. Everybody can use any formation. You could use a 3-5-2, you could use a 4-2-3-1, wide or narrow, 4-1-2-1-2, wide or narrow, 4-3-1-2, which is a pretty narrow formation. But and if you have skill, by the way, you can still do well. You'll still get some victories, but you can tell the difference, right? And so if you want to play quality football, you have to lean towards what works. That is a big downside to FC, and that's what I want to talk about, because when I'm playing, I will get into competitive mode for one, and people have to realize that. So not everything I'm saying during the match is necessarily like true of my opponent. It's similar to real football. It doesn't matter if I win against my brother or best friend. When you're playing against someone, they're the enemy. Like, I was an attacking player, and so every defender I went up against, they were an enemy while I played. Not everyone's like that. Some people can shake hands and even goof around in between when the ball's out of bounds or whatnot during the game. I'm not like that. Until after the game, we're enemies. And so while I'm competing, there's definitely a lot of truth to what I'm saying. There's some things that I'll get wrong, like in the heat of the moment, calling my opponent a rat or looking at certain things. It doesn't mean I'm always right. And you guys know what I'm talking about when you compete. But for some reason, because I'm a content creator, I guess, or share videos and stuff, it's like people expect me to be different than them. They know what it's like when you're competing in these games. Inherently, as of the last decade to 2 decades, have been very ratty because these development companies have focused on things that weren't important and left the football, which should be always the most important thing, right, on the back burner. And so you have these games that start veering away from actual football. And that's what we have this year. There's a fine line between Ratball and good football in FC26. And this has been going on for years, right? They actually took a terrible turn in FC25. They had some other moments in history of these previous titles that were just awful, right? We remember like cutbacks still are one of the ways that you can get into a dangerous area over and over. They've done well to not make them automatic, but just a few years ago, that was the most prominent way you could score, and the defense just would not mark anybody in the center. You would go to the byline, cross it for a cutback on the ground, goal. Cross it on the ground, goal. Every single time, no matter where you're at. Byline, cross, goal. Byline, or ground pass, goal. However you want to look at it. There was the 50-yard first-time power shots when you couldn't beat the AI defense, and with the terrible spacing, breaking down a defense was almost impossible, so people came up with that. The certain angle finesse shots, you just get a player with finesse shot plus. I remember Mo Salah one year, just cut in, left-footed finesse shot. Cut in, left, right? Finesse shots were the only way you could pretty much score for the same reason that strong AI defense made it hard to really break a defense down. You had the year where, once again, it was hard to break the defense down. That was a common theme always with the AI defense. And you would take a shot from anywhere hoping to get a corner because you would do the near post Van Dijk corner, glitch, and he would nail it in every time. You would just do that same run with Van Dijk every time. Even if someone tried to stop it, he would jump over him and bury it 95% of the time, right? And these things started taking over. Now, fast forward to FC26, we have a great beta. Everyone's loving the game. And they start doing what they do. EA Sports just starts making patches, makes the game worse, to the point where they then had to do this recent patch to fix the defense that once again was broken. And what I see now is a playable game, but also a game that can be abused easily. And that's where EA Sports seems to always be blinded. They fail to recognize that their community of players, because of the direction they've taken this game, everyone's addicted to winning more games to get the bigger rewards, to get the higher ranking champs for the bigger rewards, and so on and so forth. And so turning on the game to play football is an afterthought. It's now turning on the game, I got to get this many wins, I got to get this many points. And so people throw football out the window and do whatever they have to do to win. And that's where a game that could be played well, where you could play good football, turns to Ratball. Those are the things that I notice when I'm playing, right? And so my opponents, like if they were to come in and we were to have a conversation, I get a lot of them don't understand that they're playing like rats. It doesn't mean they're not. I get that sometimes I'm wrong, that I'm just competing and don't recognize that some of what I'm thinking is ratty isn't really ratty. I get that sometimes I do things that I'm against that I consider ratty. These are all things that the development company has to recognize and fix. When I say save the game from the players, that's what I mean. Right? The development companies, in this case EA Sports, has to make these games where you can't do these abusive things. Otherwise, what can be abused will be abused. Right? So it's not a personal attack when I talk about the ratty nonsense. It's not necessarily that every single player is meaning to do it. A lot are, though. Let's be honest. A lot of players go into these. They literally will look up what's broken and use that. And so hopefully, like with goals coming out, with the fact that right off the bat they had the anti-time wasting, they had the interceptions where they stick the defender's foot because the bounce backs are ridiculous. Hopefully they'll at least create a football game where we have a lot of, if not all of, these more abused mechanics and things that don't really work in FC and other games. Hopefully we'll have a game in goals that doesn't have this stuff. But for now, while goals goes and works on their beta, which will come out in March, and then leading up to their full release, which will culminate with the start of the World Cup, FC26 is the best game. We can talk about eFootball, but until they take out Smart Assist, right, the game is null and void. Even beating an opponent using Smart Assist when you're not isn't really fun because you're not really competing against your opponent. And then in those close battles where you lose to someone using Smart Assist, you might understand, like, hey, I would have beat them if they didn't have Smart Assist, but it doesn't matter because that's not what's happening. It ruins the football, it ruins the game, right? Computers are pretty smart, right? They have an infinite amount of knowledge when they're making decisions. And so when you're playing against someone using a computer, it takes away the joy of competing PvP. UFL, too many holes in that game, too many glitches. As bad as FC26 can get, as frustrating as this game can get, while Goals is off, building towards full release, FC26 is the best football game. That's the bottom line. So, when we look at things like this, right, which is we're going to check out a couple videos that have come out recently, both on tactics. We're going to check out a game between two top players, one professional, one could be professional but is more of a content creator, as well as kind of the take from Crassi on why FC is in the gutter, right? This very player, Jambu, had one that we looked at yesterday, and at any given time you can look at these videos from FC26, and there's what they call rant videos or talking about the state of the game, and they're never very good. And it's crazy because I have a video coming out in 2 days, right? Tomorrow I have a video breaking down where UFL is. I strongly recommend you watch that because it just gives you the idea of the state of football games overall. In 2 days I have a video where Nick explains perfectly, just like you're about to see in these videos, what's wrong with the game. And you can see where Goals sees this as well and is already going in this different direction with their game. And it's like, how can EA Sports, as big and powerful as they are, not see the things that we all see, whether it's players with voices like these content creators and pros and stuff, or just anybody? Why does everyone else see it, but it seems like EA Sports just cannot? So let's get into this first one here. It's actually a video from Crassi. This is why people are quitting FC26, right? The numbers are as low as ever. All these fixes that were made from the terrible FC25, you would have thought kind of fixed this issue, but no. As good as the beta review was, the direction EA Sports has taken the game has led us right back in the same spot. I mean, this is like deja vu from last year, and it seems like this is happening every single year lately. So let's hear what Crassi has to say about the state of FC26.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you why, yes, esports, why people quit FC26 and they don't play your game anymore. Even Totis cannot save this game anymore. Let's begin. If you wanna buy the cheapest FC26 coins on the market, make sure to visit MMOEXP.com and use Crassi at checkout for 8% off. Check the link in the description down below. And guys, if you appreciate the daily content, all you have to do is drop a like. If you guys think that FC26 is broken, all you have to do is drop a like. And if you guys believe that the new patches make this game...
So make sure whenever I do these reaction videos, you check out these other content creators, right? This is Crassi. You heard him. Drop a like on this video. Go on his channel and also check out his stuff. He's a great player, great content creator. He always shares great stuff. So make sure you show these guys love too, for sure.
Division rewards achieved once again, guys, and we've got over 1,000 skill rating, okay? Elite division rewards, 45k mega pack, 8210, 85, 785, 4, 87 plus player pick, and also 84 plus.
So of course they got the rewards fixed, right? So that's a good thing, but we're not worried about that. We want to talk about the actual football. So again, Crassi, you can see, very good player, elite division player. But let's take a look at some of the gameplay and what he has to say about the state of the game.
Offside. Ah, man, that pass was super from Mata, man. Let's go, Mata. Bro. Whoa. That okay. I like the through balls that Mata sends. I also like the body type of Mata, guys.
So I don't know about you guys, but when I'm watching some of the gameplay, this game is sharp. No one can deny that. Like when I'm watching these top players, when I'm watching the game with good connection where it's crisp, FC26 is a very strong game, right? Even playing goals or eFootball or anything else, you don't match that sharpness, that crispness. The problem is it's so inconsistent. Now, add on top of that all the nonsense that can be abused in the game, and that's where the shortcomings are. So esports doesn't do anything well. They do plenty well. It's just where they make mistakes, they really, really make mistakes, right? And that's where the problem is.
Tonight. Bro, what is that Ramirez positioning, guys? Did you guys see my Ramirez positioning? Good pass. Jenny, come on!
So that's an area where I have to improve, and it's unfortunately just an FC26 thing where, well, for one, my precision shooting, just because I've been playing Goals Alpha, they don't have it, that has to improve, but that's a me problem. Getting to the byline is not a problem. Playing those sharp balls down the wings is pretty overpowered, just like those sharp through balls down the middle, right? But once you get to the byline, the positioning is so bad. So what players do is they get to the byline, play it back into the midfield, then play up to their strikers in the defense. One of the broken things in FC is pinned like on the 6-yard box. And it's just not real football, right? You don't see defense just sitting on their 6-yard box like that. However, that's where those 4-1-4-1s, 4-5-1s, formations like that and settings that players are using with the midfielders attacking is coming in handy, because you get to the byline, you pin the defense in, then you use your midfield making runs, right? These better players don't have to do those things as much, but you still see it.
No aggression, no pace for my players, guys. I didn't pass the ball there!
How many times do you hear me say that, guys?
Ramirez, yes! Oh, we survived this one, man. Connection loss. I'm going to restart this game, bro. Something weird is going on tonight.
How many times do you hear me talk about this stuff? And it's that inconsistent gameplay, that connection issue, the server issue, the outdated game engine, all of it combined probably. But whatever it is, you get that where your players feel stuck in the mud, where you literally are passing the ball, it's not going where you want it. Your players are reacting weird to different situations, right? And certain players that you play against will recognize this and actually use it to their advantage. It's so obvious. The same players that will try to run through you instead of around you are the games that this stuff happens, right? The players that will turn right into your defender and somehow get through. There's no doubt players in these other games that take advantage of the game's shortcomings, right? That's a version of Rat. Different than the player that's maybe flicking up the ball and trying to do bicycle kicks all the time. I played one of those the other day, even though they were supposed to have nerfed it, and it worked for him. These types of players, the time wasters, stuff, there's different types of rats, but no doubt overall, there's a ton in this community, and that's where the blindness of EA Sports, like when they're testing the game not to realize that players will do these things, is a huge issue in the game as well.
Well done. Go Ramirez. Let's go El Capitano. Finally.
That's a beast evolution I missed, and then I had my eye on the whole game, and then I knew I was going to want eventually, but Claudia Pena, that Evo that you see there, I missed that. I got her boosted a bit. She's just still more broken than Ramirez. Ramirez, if we had her, we'd probably play 4-4-2, but it's just insane, guys. Just imagine, I have a Thierry Henry 91 just alone, but you'll see in a bit Tex and these pros even are using loans. That used to be a thing people laughed at, like using loan players. But either way, Claudia's still better. I mean, she benched my Henry because her movement, the way she plays, is just way better. The players are using 75 rated Maradona and 70 or 80, if depending how much they evolved them, Hullets, because playstyles are what makes players this year. More than ever, even though EA Sports said they were going to go away from it because even they admitted it was getting ridiculous, but it's more ridiculous than ever. These are the things that take away from the good parts of the game.
Plus, did you guys see that? Look at this, guys.
Look at that.
Look at this. Interception plus.
Look at this. Oh my goodness.
What is that tackling there, guys?
How many times I just showed that earlier when a player was getting mad that I was calling my opponent a rat. I then went through his goals, and they were pretty terrible goals, but one in particular that was ratty. My opponent beat me to the left, but then decided to skill move right back into my defender, which is a terrible attacking decision, and was rewarded for it with something similar to what you just saw, even worse though, where he went right through my Mindy, who is an absolute monster of a defender. I mean, some of these glitchy nonsense things added to the players that try to take advantage of them, whether it's on purpose or not, just make the game into a joke.
He scores with Pina now, right? After all, through the hands of my Oblo guys. He apologized because, bro, this guy saw what was happening at the moment, guys. EA, man.
Yeah, so this player is playing ratty, but at least obviously recognizing it doesn't really change anything, because it's not the players that can fix it. EA Sports has to protect the game from the players. When you're competing, right, you're going to start using this nonsense if you can. You're going to be losing, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to use the nonsense. Even in goals had a few things where I did it and where my opponents did it. The devs have to recognize the broken stuff and fix it. That's where EA Sports, of all their issues, is making the biggest issues.
Fine, guys. It's pathetic tonight. I'm done with your game for tonight, EA Sports. I honestly don't know what happened tonight, guys. By the way, for the first time in like 3 weeks, we can see some losses actually in Rivals. And it's not about the losses, guys. We've got 10 points. I'm going to get 20 more points. It's not a problem.
Exactly.
We're going to achieve rank 1.
You can play as many games. It's not about the wins and losses. It's not about the points. You're going to get them. It's about the gameplay. It's about winning and losing, competing in football.
Rebound goals. Players felt like I'm using an entire team of bronze cards. No strength, no stamina, no aggression. Oh man. If every day is like this, esports, I completely understand every single FC26 user that have already quit FC26. I completely understand why people did that. Also, guys, in one of the games, I showed you my stamina, guys. Around minute 55 or something like that. My Vidal stamina was at 20%. I don't know what happened tonight. I'm just going to... Bro, I just go to bed and hopefully I wake up from this nightmare tomorrow. Forget...
The problem is, you don't wake up from the nightmare. It continues to happen, and you'll try to reset your mentality. You'll try to look inward and get better, which is exactly what I want to do when we start playing here in a bit. But the problem is that it's not... It's so much wrong with the game, right? Again, some players don't know football enough to see these issues, and so they'll go, what's the big deal? It's just a game. Why are you so mad? Skill issue, this and that. But if you truly know football, you can see these issues, right? And then you get to the point where the frustrating part is you'll get mad at the players as well, because they'll take advantage of these broken things instead of trying to actually play football. And when you grew up in an era like I did where we didn't have online play to start, we would compete with, in the neighborhood, we would compete with all of our friends, and people would come over, cousins, whatever, and you compete, you play, and you find these glitches, whether it was FIFA, NHL, Madden, NBA, didn't matter. We played all sports. Every game had their glitches throughout the years. You'd find them. Once you realized it was a glitch because you could score on it every time, or it wasn't within the parameters of actually competing, wasn't in the real mechanics, you knew it was a glitch, you banned it. You didn't just sit there over and over and do it against each other, because it would be pointless. But the mindset of these players nowadays is, got to get my rewards, got to get the next level of, into the next division to get the better rewards, got to finish these objectives to get this reward. Everything's about winning to then get the rewards, to get back in the menus, instead of playing football to compete at the actual sport. It is poison, right? So there's just so many ways that what could be a good game is instead a nightmare game. So now we get into this game here between Jambu, top player, very good content creator, right, knows his stuff, and a pro player who Jambu could probably be pro to a certain extent, maybe not at a Tex or Anders Vergang level, but still very good player. Then you have Tex, who is an actual pro and does content, let's say, on the side, right? So watch what, and I haven't seen this game, I'm going to watch it with you. Watch what would be considered a top game, showcasing the game at its finest, because it's two top players. Let's just see how this goes.
Perhaps if he knew I mean, maybe not at this point in 2025, but I'd like to think maybe, you know, he'd lock in a little bit, you know, who knows. But Tex on the front foot, I'm dragging my players back. I knew that against someone like Tex, I'm going to have to be bang on it defensively. We do use an offside trap there and end up winning.
One of the first things I want you to notice is the slow motion gameplay, right? These guys have gotten to the point where they're just so used to it, the inconsistency with the connection and stuff, and they don't talk about it. And I get it. It gets old, constantly talking about the rats, constantly talking about the broken stuff, right? And so he doesn't even mention it. However, these things are ridiculous that we just accept this stuff from EA Sports, right? You can see when the connection's an issue. These are both European players. It doesn't matter. You could play your neighbor and have terrible connection nowadays. Like, it's so crazy how inconsistent the game is and how much it messes up player movement, the glitchy plays that happen, the running through, the defenders not making tackles, attackers getting goofy plays, goofy bounces. And so you see this even in like the pro qualifying until they get to the level where they're competing on LAN, which is only literally the top, 30, 40, 60 players, whatever it is. And there's so many more games, you know, not even just casuals, but pros as well on their route, on their road to getting to the LAN events, right? You see their different channels, they'll share their gameplay with their online qualifying. And it's just so terrible. Now, many of these pros are good enough, and it's part of their job where they have to deal with this. But it's cringy watching. It takes away from the overall football experience.
So, first sort of 15 minutes of the game, we've played quite well here. It's been fairly even. I would say Tex had a little bit more of, threatening possession.
Tex is in the wide, obviously.
But calling our players short, good shield in there with Due, a nice little 1-2 with Victor. We're just holding the ball, trying to create some sort of clear-cut chance, which is not easy against somebody like this. Double tap pass, take our time, wait for the keeper movement, and we do go 1-0 up with Kvaratskhelia, who is such a good player. Having that 5-star weak foot allows you to just go either side, and it's very, very difficult to mark. Here again, you can see the way I'm defending. We've put in a serious shift defensively. If that went in, I would have been fuming, by the way. But yeah, we've put in a serious shift defensively. Offside trap from the corner, using that second man press once again. Tex does really well there. You know, corners are difficult to defend at the best of times, let alone against someone like Tex. He just rips through the defence there, creates a clear-cut chance with Usman, and he does like a low-driven finesse, I believe, into the bottom corner. But holding the ball here again, just trying to sort of draw him out and make him want to press, just so that some gaps open up. We take our time here, sending Gyökeres on a run. We sort of use that as a decoy. Really nice passing around the edge. We go for a little player lock chip over the top, wait for the keeper movement, and he's been a little bit screwed there, to be fair. I thought the idea of the move was pretty nice, sort of duking Messi back and then sending him over for an over the top. Tex will feel hard done by with that one for sure. But a player lock ball in behind, and that could have easily been 3-1. Perhaps I should have gone for like a chip there. I'm not really too sure. But
so you can see the difference, right? You can see the good football being played, right? And then you can see kind of the shortcomings. But overall, when I'm watching these guys play, this would make me excited to play the game myself, to get out and play some football. Once you start getting into the details of it and what goes on, like the differences, what formations you're forced to play, the play styles of the players you're forced to go and get. You can't just use players that you might like or that are good in certain areas because they need to have the passing play styles in midfield or low driven in the attack to make sure that you score your chances on the defense to actually win the ball when you should. There's certain play styles you have to have. So it takes away from, the good parts that are going on the pitch. Then on the pitch, when you start looking at some of the nonsense and the fact that every game's a toss-up as to how the connection will be and the differences there, that's where you start, seeing the holes in the game and where people get so frustrated.
Is to get Mbappe moving in behind. Poor through ball from Gyökeres there. We do another offside trap. Just again pulling players back where needed, using that second man press, and we do manage once again to shepherd the ball back. And from here, I'm sort of having it in my head that the 45th minute is approaching. You do not want Tex having like 45th, 90th, kickoffs, corners, any of that. I mean, at the best of times, it's very difficult to defend against him, let alone when he's got these other opportunities. So I'm bearing that in mind, and obviously if I do win the ball back, which we do here, we're going to sort of do our best to make sure that we have that last attack of the half. As you can see here, we get it to Vitinha, little player lock, and I'm just buying my time at this point. I've got no real intention of going forward unless something clears on. We win a flick down with Gyökeres, little ball roll pass into a step over with Messi, and that deserved another goal, man. That was a really nice play. We used the step overs to sort of cut across him, and we get super unfortunate there in my opinion. But again, dragging players back, taking our time, using that jockey. He gets the ball into Cavarat there, and we do step in, and that is going to be half time. I think I played super well that half. Obviously, when it's Tex, I'm locking in a bit. I know that if I don't lock in, I'm going to end up getting destroyed. So I was trying pretty hard this game. Like I say, he wasn't aware it was me, so sort of uneven in that playing field, but played really well. We get the ball out wide again, looking to try and get that third goal. We get the ball to the edge, and that is a poor mistake. You cannot be giving it away in those sort of areas on this game, because if you do, these counter-attack opportunities open up. And against somebody like this, they're going to punish you. If you give them the ball enough, they're going to punish you. But great defending once again. This is proving, by the way, that at least in spells of a game, you actually can defend on FC26. This is against obviously one of the best players in the world. So again, dragging our players back. Hinterpe has done an incredible job against Mbappe so far. We use a precision pass to get the ball out to Hakimi. And what I'm trying to do again is I'm slowing the play down a little bit. I know from experience, I've played him many times over the years, the last thing you want to do against Tex is to get into like a game of ping pong where he's getting a lot of the ball and you're going end to end. That's not a winnable situation. So I'm trying to make each possession count. We use another offside trap, dragging my players back again. You can quite often see that the player that I have that's actually closest to the ball when Tex has it, I switch off of them and second man press and make sure that I'm manually marking things in behind. Beautiful ball roll scoop there with Doué. Another little skill move there as well. We do cut the ball back, taking our time. We get the ball into Messi. Quick passing on the edge of the area. Good defending from Tex with Nuno, but another offside trap. Again, you see here, I'm manually controlling. Beautiful defending there, with Saliba. We manually slide tackle after tracking the run. And I was very happy with this so far. Played extremely well. Probably the best I've played in many years, to be honest with you. I feel like I'm okay at this game. We get the ball with Messi, and we do go 3-1 up. A really nice finesse into the far post there. And we have 29 minutes left to try and ride the storm, and I knew a storm was coming. It always does against this guy. He's just so good going forward. But using those offside traps again, controlling our defenders, and he's got the ball in that dangerous area that you do not want him to have the ball in. Some crazy passing and dribbling going on here. He gets the ball into Yamal, and I did feel hard done by, man, there, because it kick off. And he's just so good going.
And that's where some of the ratty stuff comes in, and you do it as well as I do. Doesn't mean that when you're competing, you're not going to call your opponents out when they do it, right? Because that's one of the things that, again, EA Sports has created with some of the nonsense in the game where you don't want to play in a certain way. You don't even recognize it anymore. There's so many nonsense things to do in the game when there's a tight game or, when you're competing. And sometimes you almost do it subconsciously, but you still don't like it, and then you'll call your opponent out for the same thing a minute later. It's not on purpose. You're not trying to be a hypocrite. It's just really the truth is the problem lies in EA Sports and them not recognizing these things that they have to remove from their game. That's just the bottom line.
It is 3-all, and yeah, I mean, within less than 10 in game.
So you can see where Tex, clearly not used to probably having these types of tough games just randomly, just gets back into the game. Some ratty maneuvers that he might not have been doing earlier on, and that's what you'll see. You'll see it against casual games too. Players will want to play football. They'll start getting outplayed, and then the real ratty stuff starts coming out, right? And even we do it. We know about it. And it's whether it's subconscious or some players have more intent when they do these things. It's stuff that overall ruins the experience and ruins the game whether you win or not. It's just not football. It's not as fun. And there's Tex.
And just like that, it is 4-3 to Tex. It just shows how quickly a game of FC26 can change, because we were 3-1 up after 60 minutes. We're now 4-3 down after 76. So it's now on us to try and get back into the game. Taking our time, little ball roll scoop, which is something I use on the wing quite often to actually shield the ball and just turn in those areas. What it allows you to do is be facing the goal, but very quickly face the edge of the area for a pass back to one of your players that are on the edge. Awful ball from Gyökeres there, and a crazy bad touch from Messi too. And we find ourselves having to defend again, using that second man press, micromanaging our players and dragging them back into position. We do win the ball back there, sending Gyökeres on a run. If that ball was better there, we are in. I think Tex did manually switch and cover it, so fair play to him there. He did very well. But again, double tap pass out to the wide player. If you're not using these double taps, by the way, get to use them, because they are actually insane. I tried to dink that in the hopes of winning the header. Probably a bit of
another thing that's not at the top of the list of things that are broken, but there's certain passes that you use that are more broken than others. Not because in a game, in real football they're more powerful, but just because within FC they just happen to be broken. The defenders just aren't programmed to stop them. Certain shots that, like the low drivens, that become way more powerful than other shots, even though they shouldn't be. It's just in this year's game and in the current state of the game, they're more broken. EA Sports, when I say they, need to get rid of these things, right? That take away from actual football, that turn the game into almost like a puzzle. Okay, what's broken? That's what we need to use. Oh, Holland with this, chemistry style to make him into lengthy or control lengthy or whatever. I know they took away some of those accelerates to where now it's just explosive, control lengthy, but all these different things that are away from the football pitch, right, that end up affecting the gameplay on the pitch need to be removed. Play styles. Oh, we got to have tiki-taka, or we can't have this player in midfield. We got to have low driven, or we can't play that striker. It's just ridiculous, guys. If you don't have Claudia Pena, you're going to have terrible attacking AI, right? So EA Sports, as much as the game could be good on the pitch, as much as there was pretty good football there, all of these things off the pitch that you don't necessarily see in this good gameplay, it affects the game negatively. And then you add in the inconsistency from the servers, the rattiness, a lot of the abused mechanics that players can just use and turn games on their head. These are all reasons why players are quitting FC. These are all reasons why players who are still playing but are frustrated, and you see the content creators making these videos all the time. These are the reasons why. They need to get back to the basics. First of all, obviously, doing something about their servers, their outdated game engine, even if it means taking a year off and just working on that, putting as much money and time into that, right? Investing in actually fixing the foundation of their game, the core of their game. Then from there, you build out and you bring it back to the foundation of what football is all about, and stop focusing on all this nonsense that is ruining the game, right? Allow players to play football without having certain play styles, a certain broken body type or accelerate type, or you can't use Thierry Henry because his body type isn't as good as Claudia Pena's, and you won't be as successful, and you have to use on all the formations one of three formations, otherwise your movement's going to be messed up. And you guys get where I'm going, right? These are the things that need to be addressed, and the fact that we can all see them, but this big and powerful and rich company that has had this franchise for over 30 years, the fact that they can't see these things shows a terrible disconnection between them and the player base. So, again, Crassi as well as Jambu, make sure you go show some support for them. They're great content creators. They do a great job. And now we're going to get into some football, not quite at the level of these guys, right? But we still nonetheless have, it's the same problems, just at a different skill level. It's as simple as that. So as we get in, which, again, remember what I said about the objectives, getting the rewards. You see that there's a very good Dante center back card available. A lot of players have them. We have 2 out of the 4 objectives complete. So now we have to win 6 games, right? Either in squad battles only with a Liga 1 player, and then we can win 6 in any game mode with 1 Bayern player, and assist at least once in 5 separate matches with a Bundesliga player, right? So now we're going to be forcing these things, which obviously is going to take away from the actual football a bit, but that's okay. Whatever, if they want to put these types of challenges and give players something else to go for, because we've already completed, the main objectives, won this event several different times. But whatever, that's okay. We'll force those things in game. It will cause us to have to play a little bit differently than we normally would, playing players that we normally wouldn't. Right? I'll start this CDM, sub them out, for Ramirez, and then I will try to get 5 different assists in 5 different matches with Palacios. But within that, right, I want you guys to think about all the different objectives, the different rewards that force changes in how you play for the worst, usually, right? Because I got to get this win, otherwise I won't get this reward. So then you start doing the nonsense instead of just focusing on competing at football. And then I want you to pay attention to the connection in each of these games. I want you to pay attention to the actual good football being played, right, compared to the nonsense. So 89 and higher, we can only have 2 players. And there we go. We meet the requirements, we go in. So there's a lot of things within FC that they've done simply because they stopped focusing on making the football on the pitch better. That's just the bottom line, guys. That's where a lot of this stuff culminates from. They started focusing on everything but what matters most, which is when you get into a game, playing the actual sport, why you bought the game in the first place, to play a football simulator, right? Now, I know there's exceptions that the way that EA Sports has went. They've created people that, like I've said before, sit in the transfer market all day long, sit in the objectives, sit in squad battles to complete different objectives and things like this. But it still doesn't change the fact that we're playing a football simulator, and the football has to be good. That's just the bottom line, right? So right off the bat, connection-wise, which is always different. Each mode kind of has the different connection based on different matchmaking parameters, but it actually doesn't feel too bad. Unfortunately, the connection can constantly change. Good goal by my opponent. He deserved it. Oh, he gets a golden goal on me. Didn't even realize it was golden goal. So I'm sitting here talking and cost myself a golden goal match. No big deal. We move on to the next. We've already gotten all the rewards. Nice little touch of the of the gritty, that he wanted to start beforehand. But nonetheless, we'll get right back into it. Didn't realize this was that event that's golden goal. But we have to try to force the ball into our Palacios and assist 5 times with him. I'm going to try to do it while keeping that bronze CDM in the game as well. And so, is this how I'd like to be playing the game right now? No. But do I want that Dante? Yes. So I do see where these different challenges are cool, right? I definitely see that. I see the pluses and the good parts and the bad parts of it. But you can also see where the focus on these things, right, has taken away from, putting a good product on the pitch. These things are all interconnected is what I'm trying to get at. But overall, the connection hasn't been bad. This one is definitely slow motion without a doubt. without a doubt. In every game, you have to kind of account for that, right? His Hamza card's very good movement. There we go. Should be 1 assist here. All right, and we're in there with 1 assist for Palacios. 4 more of those to go, and we're good. We also got the win with the Bayern Munich player. Not bad. You couldn't see too much from the game there, right? It kind of did show that broken mechanic. Not broken mechanic, but just a broken aspect of FC26 where you can force through balls and get your striker through, even if the defense is marking your attackers perfectly, right? I was showing the example earlier where a good through ball would be, you know, you time it perfectly, your attacker's off the shoulder of the defender. But with this game, your attacker could be marked perfectly. You play the ball into your striker, which still could be okay if they were going to receive it back or lay it back one time. But you'll turn right into the defender, which is a terrible move. You should be punished for it, and you'll go through on goal, right? Whether that's an animation that they show in the game, the attackers, you know, shaking off the defender or whatever, that doesn't work. The opponent can't do anything about that. You have to reward the defender there because in true football, that's not a good move. As a striker, turning right into a defender should not be rewarded. Doing a skill move right into a defender should not be rewarded, right? These are all things that should have been focused on, right? Interceptions, bouncing back. Oh, it's realistic, but making it truly realistic where the defender's rewarded for reading plays instead of you're rewarded by the ball bouncing off you, going back to the attacker who's now in a better place and rewarded for a bad pass. Like, instead of making all these different additions, different modes, and these different adding all this daily content, you know, the focus and the energy is everywhere but where it should be. You can see this over and over and over again. But no matter how much it's like a broken record from different content creators, and no matter how much you can show these issues, the main people that need to understand it, EA Sports, seem to either be ignoring all this, right? Or they're just blind. I don't know which one it is. All right, so we have the ball with Graham there. We have Palacios, okay. Remember, we need the assist from Palacios. Can't let him get this through ball. And offsides. Yeah, Peña's not going to be able to do anything from there. Ah! Now listen, that ball was to Palacios, which you know that, because I need to get an assist with Palacios. That was supposed to be to Palacios too. Whoops. Good D. One more touch and we're good there. And broken. The heavy, stuck in the mud feeling, right? Terrible. Goals, and it's not necessarily that it was a bad goal, but goals, if you feel the defense, you'll know. If you've been playing FC for a while, you might not see the problem with what just went down there, but if you play goals, you'll see what a true responsive defender feels like. It shouldn't be as easy as you face one direction with your attacker to make the defender shift that way, and then you can just face forward and shoot a low-driven shot, right? And you saw Tex do it against Jambu as well, where he said he felt hard done. It's like, it's not these players' fault by any means. Wouldn't even say that's a rat goal at all. But the defense, when you're in a good position to make a play, the defense isn't going to be beaten like that in true football at all. Literally, it's a change between this and this. And whatever, I'm sure was their recent patch, whatever reason they have for making the defense react like that, who knows what it is. But if they would just focus on these things, we wouldn't have these issues come up. Look, just playing the ball, force it forward and shoot. Playing the ball, force it forward and shoot, because remember, I need that assist. I could care less about any other win besides Palacios. Good. Saw what was coming. And welcome to FC26. Can't really blame the game there. That is what it is. I mean, maybe I could have taken a touch, I guess you could say. You know, sideways. But yeah, welcome to FC26. Now, the other thing is, guys, golden goal. And the type of opponents you have, right? This ball like I'm Kobe 08. Well, clearly low-level players. I've been away from the game for 2 months with the way the matchmaking works. But you kind of see the little bits of toxicity coming out, right? Which is fine. But you, like, if I were to call that player a rat there, you go, what? You think he meant to just, he got lucky there. He played, he took a bad touch. Yes, he got lucky. It was actually a terrible touch. But he let the celebration run at the end. So anybody watching this from the outside would go, dude, why are you mad at him? But players who play FC know. So you play a loser like that in a full game, you beat that you don't have players that you have to force the ball through for challenges. You beat a loser like that 7-8-1. But when they get a little bit of luck in a game that's a golden goal and they watch the celebration all the way through at the end, you see these things. And it's the same when I call a player a rat in a game, right? Because they failed to do something, but I seen it. So players will go, what was he a rat for? His goals were fine and that pass was fine. If you play FC and you see these little things, you know when players are doing skill moves in certain instances, when they're doing them to actually play football or when they're trying to glitch through. You know with the certain passes, the way they're playing, you see these. Not everyone will, but if you've been playing the game long enough, you'll know. So there's certain instances like that too where you guys who don't know the game as well might not even see some of these issues that certain players who've been playing the game see, right? All right, there's 2. We need 3 more of those to go through. Another win there. I will say these golden goal tournaments that they come up with are good to complete these objectives, but it's still the focus. I could care less about the football in these games to the point where I can't even win this tournament. If I do, I'm done for the day. I can't finish my objectives quickly. I need to win this next game, then remember to lose. And let's see how many more tries we have of this. I think it's 5 each day. But entries, 1 of 5 available. And the event ends in 5 hours. So I'm probably going to have to finish this elsewhere. Which is fine. It is what it is. It just means playing the games all out. But you're seeing all these issues. Like, if you know, you know. You're seeing all these issues and how they connect. I could care less about the football in this case because I just want that Dante card. So why would I care about playing Ratty? Or why would I care about actually competing? You know what I mean? So they're taking away from the focus being on football. And then you have all these issues on the pitch. And there's a lot of players that not only don't care because they're just trying to get an objective done or something, but will utilize those broken things instead of actually playing. There's certain game modes where players will get mad if you want to stand and play. It's like, dude, it's a good game. We're competing. I bought this game to play football, but they don't care. Hey, I'm trying to get my rewards done, and I'm the same way, right? I'll be on one side saying, let's just play football. Who cares? But the next time I'm trying to just get a player, an objective done to move on to another mode, and I'll say, why is this player not quitting? What the hell? And it's like you're getting mad at players for wanting to actually play the sport. Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? No, well, That's over with. So you guys get the picture, though. I'm sure you guys have seen plenty enough. The good, the bad, everything in between, where the certain issues are. We'll go ahead and finish this out. So now, if I go into, see how many tries it says I have. Oh, it's still letting me go forward. Okay. If I go into evolutions, which is another cool part of this game. So now I'm done with evolution, so I can remove this keeper. So that's cool. And I'll show you why, because now I can put a better player at CDM, put another Bayern player in goal. And then objectives, I should be, yep, so you see here, 4 more games, 3 more games. And the whole entire goal is to get this Dante. Could care less. If you showed me some cheat through ball right now to get done with, well, would I use it? No. But would a ton of players? Yes. Do a ton of players do that sort of thing? Yes. And they stop playing football. And then it spreads. And then your points for rivals. That's where you get the max amount of wins that you can get in champs and so on and so forth. It's this poison that's spread. And even if EA Sports maybe didn't recognize it originally, once they discover these things, they do nothing about them. Once they discover the playstyles are destroying the game, they do nothing about it. That's the biggest issue. So you see here now that I'm done with my goalie evolution, I can actually switch out. Put a bronze keeper in. And then put a better CDM since I'll have a Bayern keeper. So there's a Bayern player. We're good there. I can get my Ramirez in, and that will help us out. And now, the only weaker player I have is Palacios, but that's who I need to get assists with. I also want you guys to pay attention to the movement within this 4-1-4-1, because the reason why the 4-5-1 and 4-1-4-1 are so important is because other than just spamming this through ball in any other setup, right, or spamming the through ball to these wingers and getting to the byline, the movement absolutely sucks overall. And so what happens is in this setup, these players, Hamsik as a playmaker, and then Palacios as a box-to-box, come in and support and create some movement, making runs from deep where they're just not right up on the defenders, and it helps you play a little bit more realistic football. So that's why this is broken. Same reason why with the 4-3-2-1, those through balls to the inside forwards, the wingers or center forwards, was broken because you just couldn't mark them no matter what you would do. The 4-2-1-3 was pretty close to that as well. You could just spam through balls constantly in the seams between the center backs and wing backs. And then if for some reason a defender were to mark those, you would just use your cam, play through to your cam, or play to your cam, then up to your striker. And the same repetitive passing patterns over and over were just pretty much unstoppable. And this is another reason why in these pro matches, especially, you'll see 10-5, 8-7, 13-11 there was a score. Like the craziest scores, because a lot of this stuff they can just execute over and over and over, and no matter how good the player is defensively, some of these things literally can't really be defended. Couldn't switch to the proper player, so that was fun. This game has a ton of delay in it. Alright, see, like normally I'd play that ball and I could probably be through for the victory, but in this case I need to find Palacios before I play it. Alright, there's 3. And you see there, now I'm not saying my opponent was the highest caliber, none of these opponents really are, but you can see where a skilled player could even find other ways to pull your attention and play that ball over and over and over. I mean, that was literally forcing a through ball down to the wing. And so in this year's game, the broken system is once again something like the 4-2-1-3 in the past and the 4-3-2-1, something that relies on playing those through balls in these seams that the defenders can't mark. You see the pattern, right? And football's just not about that. It's just not about that. It all takes away from actually playing football and competing and having fun as well. The creativity and the different goals and now it's supposed to go over to Palacios, by the way. And yes, I'm purposely just trying to receive it and go forward just to show. And he's actually doing a pretty good job there. Gotta love the delay there, eh? Oh, and then we read it well. And the opponent's looking like he's going to quit, I guess. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Let's get back into it. Yeah, so my goal over the course of this session and going forward is to try to just improve overall football. And I will say, even if we do end up playing goals, this getting better at FC will help without a doubt, because goals is more simplified. Doesn't mean it's worse, because they focus on football and you have to be sharp in the different areas of football. There's not as much AI assistance, but getting better at FC, right? I'm interested to see how much as I improve, because I've been gone for months, right? In this game, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to getting better. There's a lot of the, like I said, the broken stuff you have to learn to get better. The different shortcuts players use in learning the best way to prevent these things. But I'm interested to see, as I do improve, how much of this stuff that's broken becomes something you can handle. How much of this nonsense people abuse become things that you can handle. The game would be over if we didn't have to force it with Palacios, but it is what it is. Too easy. Come on. So silly, right, guys? And Palacios is a beast and he's a great passer, but look at this. I mean, it's just, goodness gracious. I believe one more, right? One or two more. Hopefully it's one and then I can just try to win this final, but I think it's two. More cosmetics. 3 times 83 plus. That's not too bad, though. Could care less about the cosmetic stuff. I don't want all my cards looking the same. I mean, I guess it's a cool touch. But, okay, so one more there, so two more in total. So I have to lose this game on purpose. Or if I win it, I have to get one more game where I use Palacios, I believe. Yep, one more where I have to get an assist with Palacios. Now if we go to evolutions, we can keep doing these repeatable. I should have been doing this. I missed out on that, but that's okay. These repeatable ones until I can't repeat them anymore. So the CM rolls. I wonder if they're going to let me do this or if it's too late now. Let's see. Alright, good. So we can give Camavinga all the CM rolls so he can be box-to-box plus. That's huge. Everybody else is good there. Composure +2. What else do we want to give some composure to? Composure is 90 now. That's the max. Composure. So Mindy, get some composure, buddy. Vision, stamina. Defending +2, max 84. Go to stamina 1. Gio, where's your stamina at? Let's see. 81. Let's give you some stamina, get you in the starting lineup for this one. And then plus defense max 84. Okay, we'll get Makengo in there. Might as well, right? Makengo and Gio. You see be listed as a center back or a left back. Hey, there he is. Kango. And Gio. And I need to lose this game. And I'm assuming Dante either will be fodder or he'll replace Van de Ven because Torrejon's too good. Boz says that George Best, and he's been focusing on other stuff, is in eFootball. Very interesting. I don't get as excited anymore because FC's had these legendary players for years now, and then in eFootball, every time you buy like a beastly player... No, he just toasted me. I should have quit. So now I'm going to have to go play one more game, and that's okay. Elsewhere, but that's alright. We'll get it. We'll get an assist with Palacios. Maybe go play squad battles match. I wasn't thinking, guys. I was not thinking. That evolution's done. That evolution's done. That evolution's done. Vision. Vision. He's still going. He's already got one. You should be able to do double evolutions on players. Alright. Hold it. Can go. Keep Palacios in. We need one assist from him. .488 and higher. 1, 2, pull it here. Homsick's going to go to the bench, actually, fortunately. Can go, and then Mindy's in there. Alright. So we need an assist from Palacios. And then the victory. We got the keeper one done. So just an assist from Palacios. Could care less about a win or loss. Man, I really love how it really makes me feel good when different people from different communities want me to play the different games. I really do like that. It stinks because I do see positives in each game, but like the negatives that I see, I mean, Smart Assist is just insanity. And then UFL, you know, the glitchiness. I can't believe they still haven't overhauled their passing. Like, if I just take the ball like this and just keep pressing pass everywhere, like how I'm doing there, see how you can see, like, it's realistic what happens? In UFL, the pass is perfectly sent, whether you're clearing it, you're off balance, whatever way you're facing, perfectly sent into the attacker. It's a joke, right? Or not just the attacker, any player. You just can perfectly play these passes. Good read by Vandy. Remember, we have to kind of force it. Well, we don't have to force it, but I'd like to get that assist sooner than later. Look at that. Beautiful read again. And I point that out because I think those plays should be rewarded over anything. I love this Palacios card, bro. Let's see if we can run it all the way with Ramirez. Oh, good tackle. Oh, I tricked him. I got that high line. Oh, you're offsides. Oh, wait, it doesn't matter in the time warp. Oh, this should be easy then. I forgot. Offsides don't mean nothing. That was stupid of me. D. Oh, switch to the wrong player. Welcome to FC26. All these issues that just arise over and over and over, man. It's the most annoying thing in the world. Man, I should have had that assist. I can't believe she missed that. Pena never misses those. I should have went low driven. And would have magically made it a goal. Come on, come on, come on, Pena. Yes, there it is. That's all we needed. Oh, I took out my player. Let's go ahead and get Palacios out of there. Move Hamsik to the playmaker part side and haul it to the box to box. Whoops. Went through him, that's hilarious. If you don't know what's going on, this Team of the Year warm-ups, no fouls and no offsides to watch this. I was actually onside there. Oh! Oh! And I'm not gonna lie, these little events and all, no offsides and stuff, it's fun. It takes away from the actual football, but it gives some players maybe that otherwise wouldn't win a chance to win sometimes. You know, so I'm not opposed to this stuff. There's just it's just a microcosm for the overall focus that's went into other areas when it should have been football. Oh, he read it perfectly. That was terrible. Nice. 3-1. Or 2-1. All right, and that will be it. We got the rewards, and we'll have Dante come in. Most likely start over Van de Ven. We'll see. He seems to be a top center back. I remember when they did his Shapeshifters card, where him and Sorloth were strikers during the lengthy era. I know you guys remember that. Another broken era, where those lengthy strikers were just ridiculous. And they're broken a bit this year, too. They are. Not nearly as much, but when you run through defenders with them, it's just crazy what they're able to do. You can turn right into the defender, and they'll just magically get through. Similar to the magical low-driven shot that they just recently added. Now, of course, it's OP. Alright, so that should take care of everything we need there. We should have Dante. Let's make sure. Wait, what? Win 6. Oh my gosh. I did need the Byron, even though I have... Oh my gosh, I needed him in there. Now we got to go play one more and win one more because I'm a dum-dum. Well, maybe we'll have time to get a couple more evolutions at least. See what this Pele can do up top. Pele Makengo. Vision. Composure. Geo will do that with you. Let's get Pele up there. We have the Bayern player in, so whoop, we don't need Palacios. We got that done. One with the Bayern player, so I can get Hamsik back in there. That's cool. Hamsik's such a beast. Alright, so let's see what we can do with this Pele. 270 rated cards that play like monsters. The Javi card, and even Kelly subbing in was a beast too on the right. Hansen's a beast, but I wish I could switch. I wish I could put one of them at Cam. I might switch to a different setup. But what? And then as much as I like Paney, I know there's stronger players. I'm even trying to think. I'm thinking about maybe doing that Jacobson. Because she's good, she's not great. But although she's just a little behind that other Evo that makes her stronger. Just a bit stronger, that, and a lot of people are using her. So maybe she is the best. Start scaring them, making them think you're going to do slow. He's just slow. Yeah, not happening. I'm not quitting against you, you little bitch. Actually, now what I'm going to do is this. Now that I realize Pele. We'll put Pena back in there. This is what I mean by players like, oh, dude, you don't do golden goal. What the hell? What, you can't play a 4-minute game, bro? You can't play a 4-minute game. You're that pressed to get, I gotta get this reward. I gotta get this reward. I don't have 8 minutes. Gotta get this reward. It's just the dumbest thing in the world. He didn't give me the win. This is stupid. This is so dumb. I'm not going to play. Bro, now that I'm not giving you the win, why not just play and get better and work on playing football? He didn't reward my 70-yard long ball. Like, dude, it's... it just makes no sense, man. But whatever. We'll get through this game. We'll get Dante in the back. Let me look at some of the movement for my players. All right, so if I start it all the way back. So you see my high line. I'm playing that opposite a lot of people. I have Gwen on support. So you see how she'll get up and help. This is my, what Ramirez would be my defensive mid. And I have Mindy holding back on fullback balance. So you see just a little bit of difference. You see the support there. You see where Gwen gets up in the attack and opens up with. And then when the ball's intercepted, she recovers pretty good, man. I think I want to put Mindy in that supporting thing too. Although I have her deeper because... Or I have Mindy deeper. Okay, so I have the ball in my defensive mid. Boom. So she's staying back. Once we get into the attack, so she's staying back pretty good there. And then she gets up, and then I have a back three. So I get where that's better. Otherwise, Mindy would be up. But it could be good support on that left, too, because look where she's at. It provides great width, and then the wingers come in. Let me show you the difference here. Come in. Let me show you the difference here. So if I go wingback support, playmaker. Let's see if I do hull it as a, what's the difference if I do a deep line playmaker, for instance. As a matter of fact, Kama. Let's put Kama because that's who would be playing there. And then let's get Ramirez. This is the full squad. Well, normally this would be... Better have made those changes. Yep, okay. Kama, Ramirez. We'll even get Javi out wide left. That's a normal squad besides no Torrejon at center back with Vandy. And obviously we'll add Dante. Alright, so the ball. So now, instead of box to box, Cam is a deep line playmaker. So you see the difference in the support. So I only got 2 forward. But look, whenever Gwen has the ball, Mindy gets back decently. And whenever Mindy has it, right? You see what I'm saying? They're only both up until one or the other gets the ball. So that's kind of nice. You see Camavinga, Hamsik, where they're supporting. They form a triangle this way. And then look how pinned in his defense is. Let's look at the defense. You see the defensive support there. Hamsik, Kama. Alright, so now if I get it, see where they go to. You see Hamsik here. Alright, now let's put Kama back at box to box. Box to box now. They're all plus plus now. I need Javi to have that left wing, left mid, inside forward. Oh, I think it expired, didn't it? No, wait, I thought I added that to her. Balls to my wing back. Let's see where they're at. So you see Hamzik. So box to box, he's less attacking. And I love this, the both of them on wingback support. It works out perfectly. Man, I thought I gave Javi all the extra rolls. I guess it expired or I couldn't do it. Which is silly. That sucks that I missed it because I wanted her to get plus on that roll. Alright, so if my striker gets the ball. Or winger. Say I get the ball out here. Wingback's got it. Kama's supporting. I do like that. Whereas if I get the ball out here, where does Hamzik go? Wonder what his depth is. Really far back. See, the way I like to do it is, let's say I lose the ball. I like being right on my opponent. If they try to play the through ball, I can be there. Switch to my center back. It's been working pretty well for me. Maybe I switch to just high line. Alright, so evolutions. Pele, you're good. That'd be the next player that I boost up. Pele. I didn't get that Maradona. I wasn't playing during that time. Gio. Good. And then expire, so I can't do nothing with her. So what roles does she have? Winger. She doesn't have any for. I needed left mid roles though. Left wing she has all the good roles, but not left mid. Now we have Dante. Intercept plus. No, I got a shadow actually. I don't gotta do this. Fodder. Gotta walk out. Who's it gonna be? CM. Oh, McAllister. Another beast player. If he gets a special card or if he has one. Oh, who do I got here? A striker? Spain? Liga F? Mari Jose. What's she looking like? Finesse plus all the shooting play styles. 5'2"? Let's see what they say about her. Let's see what people are saying. Let's do a little hunting here. Mari Jose. And then there's that Pajor. One decent evolution away. Unreal card in game. Crazy card. This is literally a Pena dupe. Let's see what she would look like with a hunter on her, eh? 91, 91. Attacking positioning. '89, jeez. '90 finishing. She's one higher there. Shot power way higher. '91, '92. 97. Bro, this is my new striker. This is my new striker. Agility, 83, 84. 87, 89. Bro, she's better than Pena. I got my new striker. Pena will go into the bench. Alright, so I'm going to set up the team accordingly. Pena goes into the bench as my backup striker. Pele will go over here. Keep you in the back burner there. Don't want to get rid of you yet. You can go. Torrejon comes here. Hullet comes here. Your current Evo. We'll keep you in with Torrejon until you're done evoing to 82. Seven. Javi's here. Hamsik is a playmaker. Ramirez is a CDM. Camavinga as my box-to-box. Xavi. Damn, Xavi's not far off from being a good false nine. You can't play false nine, advance forward. Gawa. She can sub in his left mid. Need another CM sub. Need another CM. CM/CDM. Man, if only this Bombast store could play CM. We'd be perfect, guys. Like in goals, like Bombast store could play CM, bro. Left mid. She's not even that bad for a left mid. Mari, we'll see. Put a Hunter on her if it's in there. Hunter. We're going to test out Dante because he could be the new starter. With Torrejon. We put left. Shadow. Intercept plus there. It really comes down to inverse Agbado. Agbado's better in many areas. Agility 68-56. Dante's more agile, which is a big deal right now. Vandeven's the one who's a little behind there, eh? So really it's like, whoops. Really it goes like this. Wow. So my backup CM is Hullet. That's where I'm at. Hunter, Shadow, Makengo once he's done. We're good everywhere else. We're going to try something here. We're going to switch. $70 counter. Four, 2, 1, 3. Thompson. No, I like him deeper. Maybe a 4-2. 1-3. Oh, I know, because he can't play CDM. (4-4-2) though. Less coverage in the center. That's where this 3 midfield really helps out. Whether it's a 4-5-1 or 4-1-4-1, is having that extra player that's kind of coming back in the center. And I just need Javi, man. I wish she could have inside forward plus. Would help her so much. As a left mid. So Torrejon and Dante. So we got a pretty powerful squad. Marie Jose seems like a beast. She'll eventually get another Evo. Let's test this out. Just gotta play one more game here. Rivals, champs. Tournamentes. Live events. What other objectives do I have to complete? Don't think many. Early 90s. Oh, we got some players here, eh? Vicario. That's just fodder. Hold the claim all. So next up, that's a premium. New skin as a CDM will be a beast. '80 shooting as a box crasher CDM would be sick. Just can't play CM. Okay. Give me something here. Alright, let's test this out. We'll get into Ravels. So far for just a couple of days, I'd say we're doing pretty well. Let me see the objectives. This Team of the Year warm-up theme, is it worth continuing? Three goals low driven using a German. Four SBC groups. Italian player. 10 German player. Yeah, these aren't really worth it. We'll go play. Let's play a rivals match. Let's get into some good competition. All right. Alright, let's get right into it. Rabals. Alright, here we go. Boom. Alright, 4141. Testing out a new striker. Lowered our depth a bit. See how it goes. Sad boy, interesting. Mari Jose. Little tiny. Oh, burns her down the wing. Good. Oh no, that was supposed to go to my CM. Guys, I'm telling you. Good. Oh my goodness. This is going to be one of these games. There's no way. This is going to be one of these games, boys. Come on, Javi. What was that touch into the middle? Like I meant to do that. Come on, Marty. 95 shot my butt. 95 shot power my butt. Good by Dante. No way. Unbelievable, this game, bro. The goofiness is at an all-time high. Let's be honest. Come on. Come on, Mari. Oh. Get Makengo out of there. Get Dante over here. And get our girl in who is not available. I didn't put her on the bench. Unbelievable. What did I do? Agbedo can come in there. It's fine. Agbedo's a beast too. Alright, we stay calm, we play football, eh? Alright, that went well. Guys, I'm telling you, the game feels like shit. The game feels like donkey poop. Passes are going nowhere near where you want them to go. Nice tackle. Should have cut him. Yes, Mari. Oh, no, Gwen. Similar look there. Whoops. Good, Gwen. Don't ask me what happened there. Don't ask me what happened there. Good, come on, Hum. You're in. Terrible ball, by the way. Oh, I thought he was going to mark my striker. Good, Gwen, come on. Good. Come on, Hansen. There's football players and then there's Ratball boys. I don't think he's purposely a Ratball boy, but he's a Ratball boy. What is that ball, bro? Hamzik's way better at passing than that. And then I intercept it and it reads it as a... Guys, when I tell you this is broken, I mean it. Good. It's so different having great center backs. Makes such a difference, these play styles. Nice loop throwing. Wrong player once again for time number 700. Oh my God. The delay is ridiculous. The delay is ridiculous, guys. Bravo. Beautiful goal. Beautiful football. What do you guys think? Marie Jose, pretty good. Wait till she gets a, look at this. Wait till she gets a, Evo, boys and girls. Wait till she gets an Evo, boys and girls. The movement's just brilliant here. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's look at all. No, that one was a... We want to look at move. Okay, so here. The movement. All right, and this is amongst terrible delay. So you see the good things in this game and the bad things. So there's Kama as my box-to-box. You see Ramirez. We just had won the ball. You see Hamsik as a playmaker, a little pushed out of position, but that's okay. So we have inside forward. So you see Hansen cutting in. You actually see... I actually may want, because Hamsik covers that space well, I may want Javi actually playing as a winger over there. He overcompensated for where he thought I was going. 2 great touches through the keeper's legs, goal. But look at right here. I think this kind of play is going to happen over and over. Look where Hamsik goes. He's a little pushed wider there. But I believe why have him... I think I should play my left either wide playmaker or winger on the side of the playmaker, which is on the left. So let's go look at that. We got some evolutions done. All right, we're figuring it out. They gotta work on their servers or whatever that is. It's the same thing Krasky was saying. It's just insane. Torrejon. Okay, we're good there. She can play winger plus or wide playmaker. I think that's going to help more because when we have the ball, let's look at this. Hamsik is coming into her space. So if we played her more, period of outlet. There. Wingers all the way out. Hopefully she would operate where he's not. Try your winger, playmaker. I think that's the best way to do it right there. And then Evos. +3 stamina, +2 composure. What's the max on the stamina? 90, 90, okay. Give him some more stamina, and then after he's done with that, we'll go back and forth between this. Composure. Max 90. He's maxed out. You can get one more. Oh, nice, frozen. All right, well, on that, we're going to call that. So, feel like we're making good ground. We just got to keep on working through getting into a position where we can handle all the rattier stuff, the broken stuff, start understanding like the different ways that connection can affect the game, and then play accordingly. Unfortunately, because of the inconsistency, you have to have a moldable plan. Like it's not set in stone, you can change up. But for the most part, in this 4-1-4-1, you can play great football. There's triangles everywhere. My central midfielders get into great areas where I can create good plays. Those through balls down the line, down the wings, in the seams between center backs and wing backs, to my striker making diagonals. I mean, those are still going to be powerful. I'd say that's the rattiest thing that we're just going to have to get used to dealing with. You could say driving the inline, although I found that it's not as good because your players are marked, so they did a good job there, so you don't have cutback go after cutback. But we have to learn, once we get there, to then pull it back. The reason why I don't like doing that is you get in this like basketball attack where the defense is pinned in and you play it around like a semicircle and then get it in and finesse it in. So you're kind of stuck with some of the nonsense things. You even saw it in the Tex versus Jambu game that we watched. That's just where this game's at, unfortunately, with a lot of the nonsense. But we will continue to work forward and continue to try to improve. I feel like for an all evolutions squad, a squad where we can't all evolution / any objectives, rewards players, all players you can't get on the transfer market, we've done a pretty dang good job, right? It puts us in a very good position. Let's do one more evolution if I can give someone better vision. Oh, I can. Okay. We've done a pretty good job, right? Having this striker come in, this Marie Jose, she's good, man. She's very good. Her positioning. Is she Claudia Pena? That's to be determined. Stat-wise, she's right there. That Jacobson card would have been right there, but it's going to be interesting. So far, her movement's been right along the same lines. This Javi, I think she's going to be even better as a winger. Plus, I think her and Hamsik sort of were occupying a little bit of the same space because he likes to cheat up near the top of the box. Now he'll have that ability, and then he'll have an option out wide. Will always have an option out wide with Hansen making that run in as almost like a second striker. Camavinga filling in behind there is an option. Hamsik filling in on this left. And then Javi providing width. Not to mention you have Mindy coming through the gap between Javi and Hamsik. As well as Gwen filling in sort of in between Kama and Hansen. So a lot of room for great football. We backed up our depth a little bit. The reason why I've gone with a higher line, and we might even move back up, is because the defense tends to just get pinned in when you let your opponent have the ball. It's harder to win the ball back, I've seen too. Whether it's fidget spinner, dribbling, or just delayed reactions, whatever it is. And once your opponent has the ball in a dangerous area, there's several different ways that they can be dangerous. Not to mention those through balls. I found when you have a higher line, your defenders are marked tighter, right? You can cut out those through balls right away, whereas you don't leave these spaces or gaps for the opponent to run through. Kind of like I scored earlier. I've scored several, but earlier where I made like a 10-yard run where I had space to keep going where I wasn't offsides. When you have a higher line, your opponent, if they try to like player lock, switch, they're going to be offsides typically. The smarter ones, especially with a little bit of delay, I played the one yesterday, that crafted molded cheese, whatever his name was, that weird name guy. He was smart enough, like he's player locked, ran sideways, and then there was enough delay to where he could get that through ball every single time. You just have to learn. There's pretty much nothing you can do in those certain scenarios, but for the most part, I think this higher line on counter is the way to go. Some people like balance, but I can always call players back too. I like the way they stretch the defense, and when I do call them back too, I tend to have space. I feel like that stretching of the defense with counter gives my midfielders more room with the ball and as they're running forward as well. So I like it, man. I'm loving my team. If I had to pick a position, my keeper, I'm not going to, I'm set for keeper for the rest of the year. I knew that the whole year. First year that's ever happened, but that's the, my icon I got from the Ultimate Edition, ordering the Ultimate Edition. I don't see myself switching my wing backs. I mean, these two are beasts. These two are monsters, but you never know. Some great center backs come out. Ramirez is a beast. Another one, I don't know if I'll switch him. Camavinga, he's just missing some of the passing play styles, and you can tell he's an absolute beast. But, even just this incisive plus, it makes such a difference. It makes such a difference when he's playing balls and connecting. And Camavinga, you can tell the passes would just be a little off. So, yeah, that's what we have to wait and see. Now, the interesting part, you know what I want to try here? You see the difference a little bit in coming back. Poacher, support attack. Poacher attack, support, versatile. It's all in the center, but what I like about Poacher, making runs in behind, that's pretty much what we want her to do, but on attack, just off the defense line, ready to capitalize on any defensive gaps or errors. Support. So she's going to be pressing defensively. Versatile. We have to support their team or apply pressure. Aggressively pressing. Runs in versatile. We're going to go Poacher support on Mari Jose. See how she does with that. And other than that, man, we are set. So, that's where we're at in this Evolutions to Glory. I'll see you next time. Make sure if you stayed this long, you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join my Discord 24/7. We talk about everything football. You can check out my YouTube bio for ways to support the channel if you'd like. I'll get in some awesome perks, merch, ways you can get content right off the bat. We have coaching where we break down everything, try to help you improve. We've had a lot of great success. So just a lot of stuff. But we'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys so much, no matter what, just for supporting.